What's up, everyone? Do you want to learn how to take your Penn fishing reel from plane to player? I'm not a player, I just crush a lot. Then stay tuned. This video is for you. Alright, so in my opinion, the most popular knob on the market, and they may even have a monopoly on this, is the Gomexus Power Knob. I'm not going to put a link in the description because that's not really what I'm about. I'm not selling or pushing any items on Amazon or eBay. Basically, it comes in a very small package, and you can choose different color schemes. You can choose the gold with the black internal, you can choose black with gold, there's red and black, there's blue and black, there's a couple different ones. It comes with instructions, but the instructions are pretty bad. I mean, there's a diagram schematic, and most of it is written in Chinese, or there's some bad English there. And there is some instructions for Daiwa and Shimano, which you'll be able to screw on, but with a Penn handle you're going to have to drill out, and maybe some Abu and other brands that you're definitely going to have to drill out. The knobs retail for about 20 bucks on Amazon or eBay. Just type in Gomexus Power Knob. What dictates which you buy from Amazon or eBay is really the color scheme that you're interested in. Amazon did not have this color scheme, which is really what I wanted to try to match the Penn Slammer. I thought that was going to be a really cool look. And Amazon did have a bunch of other color schemes, so I went with eBay. 20 bucks retail. The sizes are really important. There's a couple of videos on YouTube, but they don't go into the sizes. Now, there are size charts online, Gomexus, or you can even Google it, and there's a 35mm size knob, which is, they say, ideal for a 1000 series to a 2500 series, or adapt it to your reel brand, 100 to 2500, whatever. There's a 38mm, which they recommend from 2500 series to 4000 series. That's the one I purchased. This is a 38mm, and the reason why I went with the 38mm is because this is a 4000 series, this is a 4000 series, and the handles are both identical. They're both 38mm. There are some people who say you go with a 41mm, which is the next size up. I just think that is way too big. I mean, I don't want my hand like that on a big ball. I don't think that's comfortable. I still want to be able to do a little finesse and have a 2-finger for a smaller presentation or for schoolie stripers, whatever it is. So I went with a 38mm in terms of sizes. So make sure you think about that. I personally would not use a 41 unless I was going a 5000 series reel and above. Like I said, for Shimano and for Daiwa, when you open up this reel handle, you have screws in there which screw out, and you very easily can take the handle off and use the hardware that's included with the knob and screw it right on. And it's kind of a 10-minute job. But with Penn, you will be drilling out the shaft, and you will be at a point of no return. This handle alone retails for about $30. So think about that. You got to have a little bit of nerve here. You got to follow the instructions, go slow, and drill it out, because you don't want to overbore this. You want this fitting snugly into there. Obviously, we'll go over that process, so keep that in mind. Alright, tools needed for this project are going to be power drill, some small drill pits, ideally going up to a 3/16 and smaller. Doesn't really have to be exact, but the final should be 3/16. Hole punch or a broad nail. Hammer, small screwdriver set, Loctite, bench vise ideal if you have it. If not, a block of wood will do just fine. Oh yeah, a pair of balls. Alright, now that we went over the tools needed, ideally you have a bench vise where you'll be able to attach this and work safely while you drill it out. Because you want to be drilling in evenly, parallel, or I should say, because you want to be drilling in straight down. You don't want to be drilling in on an angle. Now, if you don't have a bench vise, that's fine. A little trick is just a simple scratch piece of wood. Simple scratch piece of wood, and you can hold it right there and use your drill. I have seen people do this, do this. Don't use your hands with a drill. That is just stupid. There's a lot of arteries in the hand, and if you slip, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble. Just not worth it. Use something. Use the edge of a wood, off the edge of a table. Ideally, if you have a bench vise. I'm going to wrap this in some tape and some cushion, or maybe some towel, just so I don't scuff it up. If you do scuff it up, and you probably will, you can hit it with a little bit of black spray paint. Nobody will know none the difference. So let's get started. Alright, you want to start off with a hole punch. You want to try to get you in pretty close if you can. So you see the top of that rivet. We're going to drill that out. We want to try to punch it in the middle to create a divot so that the drill bite bites, preferably in the center. If you don't have a hole punch, no problem. You could use a broad nail or a thick nail. This is pretty small, so I'll actually use the nail and see if that works. Hopefully don't bash my hand in. Alright, so now you can see we've got a little dimple in there, and then we can start drilling. You're going to want to use incremental drill bits. And if you want to determine what size drill bit you're going to need for the shaft, you can kind of match it up. Here's the shaft that's going to go in, the screw end, to a drill bit that's about the same size. This is 3/16. So we're going to go incrementally. We'll start with a 5/64 bit, and we're going to slowly bore out that center little by little. Little by little, right? You see how we're starting to hollow that out? Little by little you want to go. Take your time, and then we'll incrementally graduate to the next tip. So now I'm going to go to a 3/32 bit. Slowly as we go, we're creating a crater in there, and we'll be able to pull it out. Graduate to the next bit, gradually moving up, but not going past 3/16. That's the final bit. This is a 1/8 bit. There we go. She's a little marred up there. You see that? Not too bad. That's all cosmetic. We'll hit that with some spray paint. It'll be perfectly fine. Here's the original shaft that was inside. You see that? A lot of people have this common misconception that they're going to cut the handle off, right? This is what this looked like inside. Looks like that. Then there's a rivet there on the outside. Cutting the handle off does you no good, because you still can't get past that part. Now the next step is we've got to get this shaft to fit into there, and I told you in order to do that we're going to need 3/16. So we are going to gently drill in here. We want to make sure that it's centered, and we don't want to overbore. 3/16 is going to give me exactly what I need to fit this in perfectly. I'm going to bore out very slow. Everything slowly. Slowly making sure that it's centered. This is a point of no return, so everything's got to be slow till we get to a point where this fits in there perfectly. Okay, I've bored all the way through, as you can see. Nice and clean, looks nice and centered. Try to get you a shot that you could actually see. Nice and clean and centered. Again, things get a little marred up here and there just from working on it. We're going to hit it with black spray paint. You won't even be able to tell the difference. Okay? So now the shaft almost fits, right? So we're going to just run the drill bit through a couple of times, clean her up a little bit, little by little. And keep doing that real slow until we get a nice fit, almost in there. In fact, I might even put a little grease on there and see if we can get it in. I want this tightly fit into here. That's exactly what I want. All the bearings and all the spinning action happens on this part of the shaft, not here. I want this wedged in and not going anywhere. Alright, here's how it goes. Mini washer over the shaft. You put a little marine grease on the shaft, just a little bit. Cover the shaft in marine grease. You can service that later, obviously. Then we're going to do a ball bearing. Wipe off any excess grease. Bearing grease for the ball bearing. Sorry, bearing oil for the ball bearing. Both sides. Don't really want grease in there. You want the bearings free spinning. Wipe off the excess. You're going to take your knob, open it up, slide it over the shaft. That's the ball bearing in place. Okay, and take your second ball bearing, oil it. And you see down in there, you're going to have to jam it down in there. You can use your micro screwdriver to push it down. It does go down. It may seem like it doesn't want to go down, but it'll go all the way down. You just have to press it down. Get it started. Get it over. And then the last step is going to be your screw. I just want to grab some Loctite 242. Hold on. Alright, blue Loctite thread locker. Healthy amount. Blue Loctite. Now, don't over tighten this. If you tighten it all the way down, it won't free spin. That's what the Loctite's for. So back her up a bit and you'll get her free spinning. I'm going to put a dab of Loctite in here. A dab. You don't have to, but I don't really want to risk it coming loose while I'm fishing at night. It's possible. Crazier things have happened. Last screw on the back. Loctite again. This screw should never come out. So she's going to get a healthy dose of Loctite. That goes in the back side. Micro screwdriver. This one, crank it down. Take a look at that. Let's pop her on. Look at that. Totally awesome. Super slick. Great grip. Still small enough for finesse. And look how it just changes the look of the reel.